Hi everyone, welcome back to Baka Bitches. We are two 30-something-year-olds who love to drink and talk about anime. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Hannah to quickly go through our anime disclaimers.
Yes, because you'll need them just in case you don't want sensitive ears listening. But yeah, this is fair warning, a podcast that we're going to be talking about there's going to be language, there's going to be cursing because we're drinking, there's going to be drinks. So
What the fuck are you talking about?
I know.
What kind of fucking language is
rude.
happening in
this
here?
This is bullshit. I
it's
know.
A family
I'm
show.
So sorry.
Please don't watch this with your family.
Yeah, don't do it.
Watch it in private.
With the door closed and locked. But yeah, so there's going to be language. There's probably going to be some sexy talk in here.
Some adult themes.
Definitely a lot of adult themes. And that ranges
references
from,
to sexuality.
Yes, sexy sex time and daddies. Lots of daddies.
So many daddies. All the daddies with an I-E-S. Daddies.
Daddies.
Probably some dark elements. Some things that might be uncomfortable. Death.
Sex, violence, drug use.
Mm-hmm. Heavy themes.
We're gonna talk about it all. So if you're a little sensitive about those subjects, please just be aware that it's to your discretion, and don't come at us for watching in dub. Okay?
Mostly don't come at us for that, because we are Baka Bitches and we are not reading subtitles.
We are not. Maybe on our own time, but this is podcast time, and we gotta go with the English. We gotta go with the English so we absorb it all.
Enjoy, guys.
Enjoy. Hello everyone, and welcome to Baka Bitches. We are two 30-somethings who love to drink and talk about anime from time to time. I'm Hannah.
I am Stephanie.
And tonight we are drinking a drink.
Yeah, so actually we liked our drink from last time so much, we're drinking it again.
Yeah, I mean, don't fix what's broken.
We've got some champagne in there. Some pineapple juice, some rum, a little bit of lime.
Perfect.
And still here for our July in Christmas.
Yeah, we are.
Vibes.
I don't even like summer all that much, but I
make
like
good
the
drinks.
Yeah.
They make good drinks.
All right, so we are on episode 17, and this one is titled "Cursed Ink of the Hell Painter." And the synopsis goes, the castle's exiled artist has been denied his unique skills as a warlord. Morocco notices ink demons surrounding the castle, in which they are paintings created by the artist. It is unveiled that the jewel shard is responsible for bringing these paintings to life. Morocco uses the wind tunnel to draw the ink demons into the void. They retrieve the jewel shard before the artist escapes. Nonetheless, the ink demons actually devours the flesh of the artist due to his malevolent ambitions. I don't know why, but I feel like I always get the really weird wiki entries, because like that was a whole lot of word vomit. So we'll break it down better, I think.
Will we? I was going to say,
maybe.
It might be just as bad when we do it.
True. But you know what? Still better than the wiki.
Okay.
Put that on a shirt. So we open up to this artist that is being chased off by a bunch of guys on horses. Mm-hmm. Like a bunch. And he's running for his life.
Yes, he is.
And then he decides to do his ultimate move and takes out a scroll and unfurls it. And all of a sudden, all of these drawings that he's done, these ink drawings or paintings, I guess you could say, come to life. And it's all of these terrible, ugly monster demon looking things that you would see in very old Japanese artwork, you know? So like think of the demon masks kind of thing, like the big old tusks coming out of their
they kind of look like
face.
dog, pig.
Craziness.
Yeah,
It's
dragon face.
It's very creative. Very creative. I would not like to see that stuff come to life, but here we are.
Here we are.
And these ink demon monsters just slay this more or less an army, like a small army of guys that were after this artist. And this artist gets away with his life. He runs off into the night. It do be happening. And that's when Kagome, Inuyasha, Shippo, and now Moroku stumble upon what was left over of said fight, which is a bunch of bodies. And Shippo's just like, oh shit, that's a lot of bodies. I've never seen so many bodies.
Right, but there's no blood on any of these bodies.
No blood.
So doesn't really seem like a hack and slash kind of war scenario.
Absolutely not.
Seems sus.
Very
Must
sus.
be the work of a demon?
Question mark?
Yeah.
And that's what they've kind of concluded in a sense, is it's either a really powerful demon somehow, or it's a demon or a person with a jewel shard.
Right.
And Inuyasha's like, yeah, that's what I'm sensing here. They're just, I don't know, they've somehow gotten a shard, because how else? Which fair, I think I'd probably come to that conclusion too. And that's when Inuyasha turns to Moroku and is just like, listen here, buddy. I don't really want to work with you that much. It's going to be finders keepers on the jewels, okay, buddy? And
right.
Moroku's like,
Heard.
all right, okay, I'll see you later then.
Yeah.
And just like wanders off, and you're like, oh,
Pieces
great.
out. As
Okay.
Kagome's like, you sure that was a good idea?
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't that bad of a guy. He's a pretty good companion.
He wasn't, you know what? He treats me better than you. And Inuyasha's just like, hold up, you actually like him? She's like, yeah.
Yeah,
And-
he's nice.
He was just devastated. He's like, how can Kagome like that lecherous monk? And Kagome's just like,
He's pretty nice, actually.
yeah, like, I mean,
He's good company.
he ain't bad to look at. He doesn't yell at me for no reason.
Yeah, but then I feel like we kind of cut scene from Inuyasha and Kagome, and then we kind of just follow Moroku, like what happens with him a little bit next.
Yeah.
So that's how we know he's important, because now we're following him.
Yeah,
now.
even though they've separated and paths have deviated, we're still following.
Yeah, they
what's
weren't just
up.
like, okay, bye, and then that was it.
And I was like, okay, that was cool while it lasted. False hope, blah, blah, blah. But no,
Right.
there is truly some actual hope.
Yeah, and so somehow, and maybe I missed this part, did Moroku just kind of end up at the right place at the right time again? Or how did he know to get to the place with the other princess? Why is there always a fucking princess, Hannah? Tell me, how many princesses does feudal Japan have? Because
So
right
many.
now I feel like it's 8 million.
At this point, maybe. I feel like they just call any young lady that is born into like a lord's family
Right.
or whatever is
A
just
princess.
a princess. It's just a princess.
I mean, I would love that title, but I'm
Same.
like, well, I mean, I feel like there's a princess in like every other episode.
Yeah, there truly is.
Yeah.
There truly is.
So he ends up at this other princess's hut.
Yeah, a little wing of the palace.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like, I mean,
Right place at the right time again.
like I don't know. I think he, as much as he's considered a lecherous monk, he does know, he has a lot of common sense, a lot of
Instinct to lead him there? Okay.
Yeah. By no means is he like super naturally powerful aside from his wind tunnel, but he's very intuitive.
Sure, but wind tunnel is pretty OP.
That is. I mean, you can't really fight against that too much. So, I mean, we do see that this artist, guy, ends up going to that same lord of the land, if you will, and comes to him and says, I dealt with that small little army that I knew was plaguing you. You didn't like them. I took care of them. And the Lord is just like, oh, that's crazy. I can't believe this. That's so great. And was about to get this guy like a title, a really nice title, and kind of be accepted into his palace thing and all of his, I don't know what you call them, the people right under him, the Lord. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to accept you into this thing. But then one of his men comes in and is like, before you do that, let me tell you something. Whispers it into the Lord's ear, and more or less the information is like, oh, this guy's just artist that's just kind of traveling around. He's really not that much. So like, can you really believe that he took on a whole ass army? I don't think so. And so the Lord is like, how dare you lie to me, kicking you out. So they take him out, start pummeling him, and beating him up, quite frankly. And this princess that we're talking about walks by, very pretty girl, very elegant. And the two men that were beating this artist up stop, and they're like, oh, sorry, we didn't see you there, princess. By all means, continue on. You don't need to see this. And the artist looks at the princess, is like, princess? Because he has that kind of a voice.
Yeah, of course he does.
A little creepy guy. And they're like, okay, we're going to take you out. So they truly wrap him up like he's a dead body, but he's not, in a mat. And they throw him into a river. And they're like, hope you can swim. And like, that's fucking rude. But
yeah,
all right.
it is. It was a little unnecessary.
It's a lot. I mean, literally could kill him, but I guess... I
mean, they didn't really care.
They did not care.
They did not care.
No, they're just like, sucks to be you, bro.
Okay, yeet.
Yeah, yeet. And,
but he manages to climb free. He kind of like leaves all of his heavy clothes and wardrobe behind.
Yeah.
I don't know what word I was trying to say right there.
It's fine. I fumble all over my words. I make up new ones.
He just leaves some of his clothing shit behind where he's like, this is too heavy.
Yeah, fuck this noise.
I must go on in his...
under layers?
I would say that, but I mean, they still look like full clothes.
Yeah.
Like, this man had layers upon layers.
I mean, maybe it's just that time of year where you layer up, you know?
That could be.
But then we have Kagome walking around in a short little skirt like, this is fine.
Yeah.
Whatever, girl. Whatever.
I mean, she doesn't feel the cold.
Yeah, pain over
She's not that smart.
Yeah, she not.
Yeah, so he wander off.
You wander off, you know, like getting angry and kind of scheming a little bit. And that's when Moroku shows up, like right after this artist gets yeeted down into the river. And he sensed something was up in this area.
Right.
And is just like, I feel like there's an evil presence around this place. Let me help you clean it up. And they deny him, Moroku as well. Like, no, we've already had another imposter here. We're not about this today. And Moroku's just like, okay, well, I tried, but I guess I'll just be sleeping in the forest. And that's when a huge black cloud comes in, and Moroku's just like, I knew it. I knew I sensed something. I was right. And proceeds to tell
he is.
the two guards, like, hey, you better run. There's, like, evil afoot. And the guys turn around. They're like, oh, shit, you're right. And out of this cloud, which is very much drawn, like, you can tell it's like a illustration, like classic illustration of cloudy things.
Right.
And out of them comes these ugly-ass giant demon
The things
wars.
that we explained earlier. The dog, pig, dragon, black creature things.
Yeah. And Moroku's just like, oh shit, like, I've got to do something about this. I have to protect the princess.
Of course he does.
Naturally.
And for anime reasons that no one else can explain.
Yeah.
Kagome rides up on a bike with Inuyasha just standing on top of it.
Yeah, balance.
They're just like, hey.
Hey, yo. Hey, what's up? Hey,
we're just here.
Have you seen some ink demons around here?
We're just here for no reason. Coincidentally.
It's crazy.
So
So
that happened.
So
our party is resumed.
Yeah.
We're all back together.
Reunited and it feels so good.
Really?
Well, I guess for some more than others, but yeah, Moroku runs off to defend the princess. Somehow knows the exact room that she's all in, all defenseless.
He does. Because anime logic.
Yeah. So he bursts in right on time before the ink cloud thing bursts into the room like a second later. And just as that's happening, Moroku ready to defend this strange but very pretty lady with his life, all of a sudden, like, they get pulled back because I guess the artist, which we glossed over, was sleeping in his little hut, surrounded by all of his ink drawings and stuff, and having this dream because he's like, my new ambition is, to get married to a princess and then I'll be like powerful and stuff. So he's having this dream about doing that and calling out like, princess, princess, like in his sleep.
Yeah, and then Princess turns around and she like, because she looked cute.
Yeah,
but then she turned around and her eyes.
It was just
demonic.
It was intense.
It was Satan.
And
straight up nightmare
satana,
fuel in her eyes.
And she's like, give me your blood. And he's like,
truly,
what are you doing, princess?
She is a woman scorned.
And like the princess in his dream takes his wrist, and all of a sudden his hand just straight up shrivels up.
Oh yeah, that was sexy.
Like, oh yeah, that was good. And she's like, blood, and he's like, ah, and wakes up from this nightmare because, as you would if that happens in a nightmare. And he's like, oh crap, what was that? And that's why all of the demon things that were attacking the palace, like got pulled back and like disappeared more or less because he wakes up and it just, all the ink goes and falls over his little hut thing and then goes into the ink pot that he had where the shikon jewel shard is like all wedged up in there. And he's like, oh shit, like it moved on its own. It did the thing on its own. That's crazy. So you kind of know that this dude he can't control it anymore.
Yeah.
And it comes to this ultimate fight where he goes, because he's like, I'm just going to straight up steal a princess. It's cool. And they end up fighting with him, the artist who does all the drawings. And Inuyasha, Moroku, and all of them are like fighting a million different demon ink boys. And
A good demon ink boy.
truly. And they do end up taking care of business because thanks to Moroku, who ends up saying we can't take them all down at once. So he uses the wind tunnel and sucks them all up. Because Inuyasha can't handle it, because every time he slices an ink demon boy, he gets overwhelmed with the scent of ink and blood, because the ink takes the blood of people. That's why all that army had no blood. The ink absorbed all of that. So they end up successfully taking the ink pot away from the artist, and Inuyasha ends up slashing the ink pot, and the ink is free, and the artist, not knowing what to do with himself, just picks up a sword and stabs his arm, and is like, come to me, ink. I know you want the blood. It is my blood that you want. I need you. So come to me, take some blood, and we'll be good to go. And instead of, just taking some, the demon ink just straight up, like, shrivels him down to nothing.
That it does.
And Inuyasha's just like, you idiot. You absolute idiot. Of course you would die, like, you stupid idiot. And then Moroku's just, like, straight up like, oh, well, there's the shikon jewel and all of that spilled blood and ink, but it's tainted, so I don't really want it. And Kagome just picks it up and is just like, so who wants this? And in the process, Moroku sees, oh, she can just purify these shards without anything else. She just naturally can purify it. So he is just like, you know what? You guys keep the shard, and I think I'll stick around with you guys. I'll hang out. We do have a common goal in mind. And Kagome's just like, really? And all super excited, and Inuyasha's like, what? Bruh, nah. And Kagome's just like, yeah, I'm really glad that you're gonna come with us. And Moroku is just like, yeah, well, I prefer being in the presence of a beautiful lady. He's so smooth with his words. He's got it down. So yeah, they are off on another adventure. This episode wasn't super duper exciting because we don't even have a name for the artist, I don't think.
That's true.
He's just a no-name thing, and it was kind of a filler-ish episode. But that's kind of the gist of it. I would say, okay, really quick. Really quick. If you had the ability to draw and the drawing comes to life, what would you draw?
A private ship.
Like a yacht?
Yeah, but like a
big ass yacht.
Like a cruise ship that's got
yeah.
a helicopter on it.
Ooh.
Fully decked out. Unlimited sources of food.
I like it.
Of course, it would all be held together like paper mache because,
We don't need to talk about that.
I draw like shit. But that's fine.
Fair.
Yeah. What about you? Fun question.
Daddies.
Oh.
Really rich daddies that would take care of me and love me.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I take your answer because then they'll buy me a yacht.
A real one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a paper mache
you won't
one.
just poke and it just turns to ink. And then you're like charged for pollution on the water. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
Baka bye.